Corry's Radio Alternative, Channel 98.9. This is Silvis, and with me in the studio today, I have Dan Douglas and Steve Kinnear, better known as South 40. Hi, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Guys, the reason you're here tonight, you're going to be playing at Speedeez.
We are, man. We're excited about it. It's our first time at this venue, and we've been trying to get into Corry for a while, so we're really excited to be over here.
It's a weeknight, Wednesday. That's kind of unusual.
Well, they run specials throughout the week, and you know what? There's not a lot of entertainment in the middle of the week. The weekend gets pretty packed, and so for us, I think it's a really cool opportunity to kind of add some fun on a school night, if you will.
Absolutely. So you said the first time in Corry?
Yes,
This
first
is-
time.
No. We played Corry Fest last summer.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I just thought of that.
In the
yeah.
park.
Where do you folks normally play?
You know what? We are around more out in the county, but we do play in Erie some. You're going to find us in Waterford, Mill Village, Edinburgh, McCain.
Occasionally in Ohio and sporadically in New York.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves. Where are you guys from?
I live in Union City. Steve lives right here in Corry
Right
now.
here in Corry. Originally from Waterford, moved to Corry last summer.
Nice. How about your musical background?
My musical background, long line of musicians. I grew up playing guitar since I was 5 or 6. Learned from my grandfather and my father, and then eventually my uncle, who's a phenomenal musician.
Dan?
I took guitar lessons in grade school, actually right here in Corry for just a real short time. And a lovely lady that still lives in Corry taught me 3 chords, and then I walked away from it for about 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And then one day got the whim and picked up a guitar on eBay, and which I probably not the best idea in the world to bring one home from eBay, but we picked one up on eBay and brought it home, and that's been about 15 years ago, and just been playing ever since, and sitting up till way late at night learning new songs and teaching myself how to play.
Talk a little bit about the origins of your relationship together, the beginnings of the band South 40.
We were neighbors, living right outside of Union City, and we shared the same landlord. And she knew that Dan played guitar, and then when she found out I did, she introduced us, and we've been playing music ever since. It's been about 2.5 years.
It has been 2.5 years. I was with a different project, and Steve was in a different project, and neither one of us really had time to start something new, and really didn't care to. And we actually played a picnic for our landlord one time, the project that I was in at the time. And Steve came over and just sat in with us, and he and I, it was like we had played together for 15 years. It just clicked. And we kind of didn't really do much about it for 6 months to a year. And then my project, I had kind of walked away from that a little bit, and Steve was still going with his, and we started doing this acoustic. And honestly, we didn't want to name ourselves. We didn't want to do posters. We didn't want to do a Facebook page. We just wanted to get together on occasion and have Steve and Dan playing acoustic music somewhere. And our first show together was a great big, they called it the Redneck Block Party, in front of several hundred people in Northeast. And it blew up so fast that we had to hurry up and get a Facebook page, and we had to hurry up and start doing all this promotional stuff. But you know what? It has been an absolute blast. And there's been some pretty cool stuff that's happened to us, including this right here. So we're super stoked about it.
Some of our listeners and some of those at your show tonight at Speedeez may be hearing you for the first time. So how would you describe your sound for our listeners?
I think if you look at our poster, you're going to see how we describe ourselves. That's acoustic country with a kick.
Uh-huh.
So we're probably a little bit different than your average acoustic show, and you've got the whole band here.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us. So our average show is not 2 guys just sitting on a stool and playing real soft music in the background. We tend to be up and a little bit more energetic, kind of bridging the gap between an acoustic show and a full band.
Right.
But it also kind of depends on the venue, because we try to be chameleons. And if people are wanting to sit back and eat dinner, we're going to keep her toned down a little bit. But if
Right.
you want to get up and dance a little bit and have a good time, we're gonna put forth our best effort to show you a good time.
Who would you say are some of your influences?
Oh, some of my influences. I date back old school country western, all the way up to 80s rock, heavy metal, but lately my influences have been mostly bands like Blackberry Smoke and Cadillac 3, and maybe some of the older blues rock guys like Bonamassa and
Sure.
Ray Vaughan. You know, you throw those in there, but
Stevie Ray.
those are my influences.
My daddy's an over-the-road truck driver, and we grew up on 90s country.
Uh-huh.
And so most of my stuff is, Garth and Shenandoah and Brooks and Dunn and Alan Jackson and
Gotcha.
Reba and that type of stuff. I love a song that tells a story. And then when my house growing up was pretty conservative, so country was kind of the limit. And
Yeah.
of course, when I got out of the house, man, we turned up the big hair and added some Aquanet. And, got into
That was the right time for that.
absolutely it was, Poison and Def Leppard and of course Bon Jovi,
Yeah.
and that type of stuff. But when it comes back down to it, I just like a guy that wears cowboy boots and tells a story within a guitar.
We're talking to Dan Douglas and Steve Kinnear from South 40. They're going to be playing tonight at Speedeez. What time does that start? 7?
We're at 7 o'clock. We're going to play till at least 10. Who knows?
So we want to get everybody down there and check out South 40 tonight at Speedeez. When I was talking to you a few months ago, Dan, you had mentioned a project that you guys are involved with, veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yes.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
I'd love to, actually. So this has been something near and dear to my heart for quite a while, and I didn't even really realize how near and dear it was to my heart until this project kind of came about. And again, when we started this, we had no intentions of it going as far as it even has already. But had started writing a song, not really knowing what way it was going to go, just kind of, sometimes a song takes a life of its own a little bit. And had the first verse down and was just trying to struggle a bit. I'm not a real good songwriter, but enjoy messing around with it some. And was at my hometown haunt having a drink with just some friends, and a friend of mine named Mike was standing at the bar, who is a soldier that has spent a lot of time overseas and has come back home and really fights with it.
Right.
And does a heck of a job fighting with it, but nonetheless has some struggles. And he just started telling me about some of his friends and some of his experiences over there. And here's a guy that's kind of your stereotypical soldier, if you will, and he just started crying. And when you've got a man's man, if you will, standing in a bar having a beer, and he just starts crying in front of everybody, it strikes a nerve in you that I can't explain.
Sure.
And I went home and actually just hurried up, and it just came to me, and we just finished writing the song. And then I got a hold of Steve, and I said, dude, you got it. This is the song. Here it is. It's done. And Steve took care of doing the lead guitar licks and stuff over it. And it has gained way more traction than I ever thought it could have. We did an event with Boots on Ground up in Erie. Last I knew, we had over 3,000 views on YouTube and Facebook. Now we've got a whole...
2,000, I think, yeah.
It's
We
just
reposted it on our Facebook page, and we've got quite a number of hits already just on the repost.
And what's the name of the song?
It's called 22, and it's about the 22 veterans a day that commit suicide from PTSD. And honestly, that number is not nearly big enough for the actual statistics.
Right.
That's a number that bears the recognition that everybody understands. And so, here's the deal with this, and I told you when you and I had talked before, I don't really care if South 40 gets any recognition out of this. That's not what I'm aiming for. But if somebody gets some help, because we've created some awareness where somebody understands why somebody has a mood change or whatever, they're going through stuff that we don't comprehend. And there's some pretty big demons running between their ears with stuff that we are not designed and created to see and to feel and experience. And, that's, to me, that's what it's all about.
How can people listening get involved with the project?
So anytime you come out to one of our shows, the biggest thing is just telling people about it. And then we do have T-shirts with a 22 logo. We created a logo with a soldier's cross on the front of it. And so if you pick up one of those T-shirts at any one of our live shows, or reach out to us on Facebook, which is South 40 Erie. We don't keep any of the money from those T-shirts. It all gets recycled right back into creating more awareness. And again, if one person just gets help from this, the whole project's going to be worth it.
Well, that's awesome, guys. What are some of your current projects right now?
Well, we're in a studio of a buddy of mine. We're recording 22, of course, getting that put out. We got another song that we would like to get down is She's Home, another song that Dan wrote. And we're plugging away, working hard at it, trying to get it done.
We got a few new songs coming out, like Steve had mentioned, called She's Home. That one's been out, but we've not recorded it yet. And then we are working on another one, writing another one right now. And we're going to go a little more traditional country. This one's called Whiskey Soaked Conversations.
So once these are recorded, how can folks get a hold of this music?
Right now, you can check us out again on our Facebook page. That's the only place that you're going to find it. And you're going to see the live footage of us playing 22 at that Boots on Ground event up in Erie. And then, of course, once we get it recorded, we're going to have it posted on social media. The best way, if you want to hear it, come out to a live show.
Absolutely. We're talking to Dan Douglas and Steve Kinnear from South 40. They're playing at Speedeez tonight, starting at 7 o'clock. Make sure you head on out there and check them out tonight. Aside from Speedeez, what's next? Where else can folks see you play?
Well, Saturday we're at the Wagon Wheel in Waterford, and after that we got a little bit of a break through the beginning of March. So at the end of March, we're at the Valley Inn in McCain, and we hit the Edinburgh Hotel.
And then shortly after that, we're going to be at the Village Inn in Mill Village.
So there's plenty of opportunity for people to get out and see you guys.
Again, we keep everything posted up on our Facebook page, and I know I sound like a broken record, but that's kind of the best way to reach out to folks right now, and that's South 40 Erie.
Gotcha. So I see you guys have your guitars with you today. I'm hoping you're going to play something for us here in a few minutes.
We would love to.
Aside from guitars, what other instruments can you play?
I just focus on acoustic and electric guitar,
Yep.
and every once in a while I'll grab a bass guitar and fiddle
Sure.
around with that, but nothing
Yep.
too extravagant.
Steve way undersells himself and his guitar abilities, and I promise you, if you come out to a live show, you won't be disappointed, because I always try to put him in just a little awkward spot and make him show off a little bit. He's pretty conservative if you don't push him a little bit. As far as myself, I mainly just play rhythm guitar, sing the lead part most of the time. Steve does on occasion too, and then a little bit of bass guitar, a little bit of keyboard, but mainly guitar.
So let's take you back in time a little bit. What was the first song that you guys learned together or played together?
Probably You and Tequila
You and Tequila
by Kenny
yeah.
Chesney.
That was the first, I think, the first real song that we learned together. You know, a lot of the songs that he knew from his previous band, I just kind of filled in, winged it, learned it as he played along with him, and then I introduced a few songs to him, and he would come back the next practice and say, "Hey, I got it down, let's do it."
Yeah.
So we just kept, it was nice, we just kept adding songs, and you know, it just works for us, you know.
Sure.
The cool part is Steve and I played the same type of music for so long that in reality, in about 2 practices, we had a full night's worth of music put together.
Yep. You had that experience to draw on. So what can attendees tonight at Speedeez expect to hear from you?
I would love to know. Every show's a little bit different. And again, since this is a new venue for us, I really don't know. We have a set list. To be honest, half the time, we're just going to start playing stuff off the top of a head. Somebody's going to send us a request, and we'll try it. Even if we don't know it, a lot of times we'll give it a best attempt.
Yeah.
So, you know what you're going to hear or what you're going to see tonight is 2 guys up there with guitars that are having a good time. And I really hope that translates into the crowd as well.
Yeah.
What I'm really hoping for is that it's going to be standing room only. We've gotten really good response off of Facebook and stuff. You know what? It's snowing out this afternoon. Who cares? We're in Corry, Pennsylvania. I mean, we're used to it.
What else you going to do?
That's right.
So what are you guys going to play for us today?
You know what? I think we're going to play 22.
All right. I like
Give
it.
folks to listen to that one.
Let's do it.
Billy was a small town boy, grew up in small town Illinois, and he worked hard to make his mama proud. Traded in his old blue jeans for a rifle and some memories, and he's gonna keep his family safe. Left his home in 40 hours, and he's gonna fight those that wanna devour his God and country and all of his beliefs. Now his life is over there, and he's got memories that he can't share, and scars that we will never see. When the bombs are blasting, rounds are cracking, bodies they fall, don't even know what they did for us all. Don't even know what they did for us all. Don't even know did for us all. Mike works at the factory, and it's been 3 years now, and he still sees the look in the eyes of his best friend Jim. Like it was yesterday, and he said, man, don't you dare go away, as he held his bloody hand. Jim is now a memory. He left his 3 kids and a wife, you see, and all Mike wonders, man, why wasn't it me? The thoughts run through his mind and take him back to a place and time when the bombs were blasting, the rounds were cracking, bodies they fall. Don't even know what they did for us all. Don't even know what they did for us all. Janet gets her kids ready for school. She packs her lunches, reminds them of the golden rule as she takes them off to meet the bus. Looks into her son's big brown eyes, and she does her best to disguise the pain she hides there in her own. Thinks of another little boy, and the gun he carried was not a toy, but she only had 1 second on what to do. The truth is hard, she knows, and the pain she carries will never know. But the truth is, if you don't kill them, they will kill you. When the bombs are blasting, the rounds are cracking, bodies they fall. We don't even know what they did for us all. We don't even know what they did for us all. We don't even know what they did for us all. Sit alone and they cry. They shake their fist and ask God why. One's too many, much less 22. If we don't help them, well then who? They're our mothers and brothers, they're our sisters and friends, they're our fathers and lovers. For many of them, bombs are blasting, the rounds are still cracking, bodies still fall. Don't even know what they did for us all. We don't even know what they did for us all. We don't even know what they still do for us all.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's 22, the song 22.
Song 22.
It tells the story of vets with post-traumatic stress disorder. And I guess folks can expect to hear that from you tonight at Speedeez?
Absolutely. You
All
know
right.
what? We try to play that every chance we get.
We're talking again with Dan Douglas and Steve Kinnear from South 40. They're going to be playing out at Speedeez tonight, starting at 7, Speedeez on 6. So we want to get everybody out there, as many people as we can, to get out and support them tonight. And we'd like to thank you guys for coming in and talking to us today.
Brian, thank you so much.
Thank you.
man.
Thank you. It was a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Yep, no problem at all. And look forward to some of your new music coming out. You've got some songs coming out in the near future. When are those expected to come out?
She's Home is actually already out, but we're going to be hitting it as soon as we wrap up 22. We're going to start on that one, and then the other stuff to be determined.
Okay, great. So people can watch your Facebook page to get more information on those tracks, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much, and we look forward to your show tonight at Speedeez.
Awesome, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you.